Okay, welcome everyone to our class today. And first, we're going to start out by going over one of my games. It's a quick game that I won at 20 moves, 21 moves. And after that, we're going to proceed and study some endgames. And I also have some endgame positions and a couple of tactical positions I'd like to show you, okay? So I'm playing with the white pieces. I play d4, d5, c4, c6. Okay. So when opponent plays c6 here, so first you need to know the name of this opening. How many people know the name of this opening? So we have two. What's the name?
Slav defense.
Slav defense. Okay. So this is the Slav defense opening, and there are many different types of openings they can play against you, but this one in particular is the Slav defense. Okay. Now he plays c6. I decided to play knight c3, developing one of my pieces. Knight f6 and e3. The reason I played d3 because I thought in some cases if he takes, I would like to be able to capture back with a bishop. Okay. It's a normal solid move to play, but there is a problem. There is a small problem when you play e3. Who can point out the problem? Okay. So we know what is it doing. It's actually opening up the diagonal for the bishop. But what is the problem that is causing?
Probably blocking the dark square bishop.
Very good thinking. Yes, blocking the dark square bishop. Okay. So now he cannot do anything. Perfect. So you go here. That's why that's the drawback about this. Now he plays a6. Okay, now what should I try to do here? What do you think? Always development is very important, right? So we have to see if we can try to continue developing more pieces, right? Yes? Knight f3, of course. A lot of times in the opening you need to make logical, okay, looks that look natural, okay? So here the knight development looks natural. My opponent plays b5. And that was the point of the last move, a6. So he can try to play b5 to try to gain a little bit of space on the queen side. Okay? And here I have a couple of options here. I can capture here, I can play b3, or I can play the move in the game. So what's the move that I played here? It's a little bit different than the b3 and c takes d5, because if you can try to gain space and kind of advance to the opponent's position, that will give you some advantage. So what's the idea here? What can we do here so we can gain the space? Yes?
Use the c pawn to take the b5.
Yeah, but then actually I think this might not be the best move because he takes back.
Or advance the c pawn. Advancing the c pawn.
Okay, well.
You take with your knight, then they take with their pawn, then you take it with your bishop.
Now you lose a pawn, you lose a knight and a pawn.
I know, but you still can take it with your bishop.
Yes, but you lost. Okay.
I know, but you come over.
wait. Let's first raise your hand. Yeah. First thing, we raise your hand if you want to suggest something. But let's try to understand what just happened. Okay. What's the value of the knight? Everybody know here, right? 3 pawns. So when you take the pawn here, I take, you take. You get how many pawns only? 2, right? But you lose a whole piece. So, technically you're down material here. So it's not very good for you, okay? To go for this. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have an attack. Sometimes if you have an attack, you can go for this. But you need to have a really good follow-up to do this. Otherwise, it's just not going to lead to much, okay? So the move, what's the move that I played though? I didn't want to take. I wanted to gain space. You don't gain space by taking, yeah? You gain space by?
Developing your pieces. So I think you played advance the c pawn.
Yes. You gain space by advancing. Okay, remember that. You advance. That's how you gain space. You get into the opponent's position because look at this. The first 1 through 4, this is for white. 5, 6, 7, 8, that's for black. So my pawn is now in his camp. Okay? So it's very important. You may think, okay, what's the, a big deal about the pawn there, but that pawn is going to actually create problems for him. He's going to take away squares. So my pawn is in his territory, okay? So it's good for you to have that opportunity to have a pawn on that rank. Okay? You have a question?
Also, the pawn structure is good.
Pawn structure is good. Everything is great about the position. There is one thing that is just not as good that I would have liked. What's the only small problem in this position for white? Yes?
Probably if black advances the b pawn, the white needs to move the knight.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. But not concrete. It's just like there's just one piece that is just not very good here that I would have, ideally, I would have liked it to be maybe somewhere else. So which piece is that?
The dark square bishop.
Excellent. Dark square bishop is blocked. If I can magically play bishop f4 here, it would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, I already pushed the pawn. But in chess, you can't have everything. Remember that. Don't try to have this. In chess, it's a compromise. You can't have everything. Sometimes, you have to just go for it that if you think it's more important, okay? So he goes here. Now, b4. The point of b4 is strengthening my pawn on c5 and getting ready to play this move a5 and attack my opponent, okay? Because he's going to try to aim for this e5 break. So I want everything to be protected, okay? And ready for this e5 break. And also now I want to play a4 and put pressure. This is the idea, to play a4, put pressure on b5. Now he plays a5. He's a good player. So he plays a5 now, trying to put pressure on b4. Now he's trying to put pressure, because otherwise I would have played it. Now, what should I do here? How should I try to react to this? He's threatening now to take on b4. I can't play a3, yeah, because he just takes, and then the rook is hanging. I can't take, so what can I do? Well, think about it. Okay, everybody focusing? Everybody focused on the screen? Okay. Okay, yes.
Bishop to a3. If the pawn takes, then you take with bishop, and that would be kind of good because the bishop can advance to a new square.
Yeah, you could do that.
Blocked by that pawn.
But yeah, but the pawn bishop doesn't look, it's like blocked behind this pawn. So I want to get something else here. Yes.
Just take the a5.
Now, if I take, he just goes queen a5. You're helping him develop. I actually thought I should just play queen b3, because this way I protect b4, and I'm getting ready to play the move a4. Okay. He could lock it, but if he locks it, I just retreat. And I evaluated this position is better for me, because the way it works here now, I can do this sacrifice idea. Let's say in some point, I could do this idea because I will be gaining 3 pawns, okay? 1, 2, and 3. If I gain 3 pawns, then I can go for it, okay? Because it's 3 connected pass pawns. So it's very, very important, okay? To remember that. That's why I wasn't too worried about it, and he didn't do that. He played e5. Very aggressive. But perhaps he should have been a little bit more cautious, doing this. He thought he can try to play actively and put pressure. So I took, knight takes e5. He takes back. I took. And now he goes knight g4. And this is the reason now why I wanted to show you this game, because of this one particular move here. It's a very, very pretty move here. Because my opponent played a bit strange, you know, like he tried to play aggressively while he's not developed, and there are consequences, okay? There are problems here that I can take advantage of here. So let's think about it for a few minutes and find the tactical idea that will basically give me the winning position here. What is that tactical idea here? Okay, let's see. What is that idea? Yes.
Bishop will either play f3 or bishop e2.
Yeah, but okay, he just takes the pawn on e5. You could do that, but okay, it's not big difference. Yeah, he just takes. Yeah, that one he will take. Something else. Can we because this b5 square is kind of weak here. So this b5 pawn, it's even though it's protected, but there might be some ideas here you can do. You know, don't be afraid to sacrifice. When you see the opponent pieces are not well developed, look for those sacrifice ideas. Okay? So what can we do here?
I was thinking knight takes, but then the pawn will take.
Okay, keep working, keep going.
And then the bishop takes.
Check. Where is he gonna go?
He's probably going to do bishop e7.
And then what do you do?
Push the pawn.
Absolutely push the pawn. If he moves away, keep pushing it.
And check and then you win a queen too.
Exactly. Do you see that now?
Promote.
I win the queen. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? Okay, so that's why I decided to take on b5. You know, because if he takes, I have bishop b5. Because my opponent is not well developed. That's why I'm trying to play actively like this. And now if he doesn't do much, I will go knight d6. He captures, I can take back with the pawn. So he takes back on e5. Now, my knight is under attack, but I don't want to just move it. Always try to develop pieces, okay? Can you try to get more development? Do you see a developing move here? That will attack something. Yes?
Bishop e2.
Absolutely bishop b2. If you look at the position, how many pieces he has developed? How many pieces he has developed?
One if you don't count the pawn.
Yeah, pawns you don't count. Pawns don't count, only pieces. And how many pieces you have developed? White has
We
developed.
have 1, 2, 1,
Three pieces developed. And now the knight is under attack. So he's not sure what to do now. The knight is under attack. He's already down a pawn. So he plays knight c4. Trying to play active. Now, you could actually, you could think that, oh, I can just take, yeah, maybe. But the problem is he takes back. You take here. Thinking, oh great, check and I win the rook. But only when you arrive here you will realize he blocks it and protects it. He blocks it and protects the rook. That's the idea. Okay? And now he's doing really good here. So that's why knight b5 takes bishop b2 now. Knight is under attack. Knight c4. We don't want to take this piece. Now he is threatening to take our knight, okay? This is already a serious threat. So we have to do something about that threat. We gotta move the knight. But where? Which square will be the best here for the knight? Yes, go ahead. You could go to d6, but he's got a couple of squares guarding, couple of pieces guarding that. Like, you know, this, he could maybe take you back this way. Yeah? And then we take, not so clear. Let's try to move somewhere that knight so we can attack something. Can you move the knight and attack something? There's a weak pawn here. You move the knight and attack. Where can we move here? The knight to attack. Yes. There you go. Of course, knight d4. And now you attack the pawn. You see it? And now he needs to do something. He plays queen c7, trying to protect. And now continue developing the pieces quickly, okay? So you gain more lead in development. Yes? Go. Which piece can you develop here? That is not developed yet. Okay. Okay, which one is your choice? Of course. His knight is active. His knight is in your territory. Okay? That move, you don't even think about it. You developed it and take. Developing and taking, you know, that's excellent. It means you didn't waste any time to move the piece and then capture something. So if you can develop and take, that's excellent. You're gaining time. You have a question?
No, I was thinking that black would probably do. He would probably say, oh, now I'm the bishop, and then he would capture.
Yeah, well, he's not winning it. I just took his knight. So he's just capturing back. So he's just going to capture back, of course. What else he can do? Otherwise, he's down a piece. Now, what's the move here?
Queen takes d4.
Of course, there is no reason not to take it. Let's increase our advantage to 2 pawns now. Now, he plays bishop a6. But he's got some ideas behind it. He's a strong player, yeah? He's not just giving up pawns here left and right. So he's thinking about it. Bishop a6 now. The queen is under attack. He wants to take my queen. What should I do here? I have some options. But the question is, what? What is the best? He wants to take now, yeah? He wants to take our queen and got to do something here. We've got to do something about that, right? What do we do? Knight to b5, that's blocking it, but this would have been excellent if he didn't have a pawn here. But the problem here is how many he's got on this? 1, 2. So when he takes, you can't take back because he's got protecting, okay? But you gotta, that's a good idea. If the pawn wasn't there, that would have been actually the strongest move that would win the game for you. But unfortunately, we can't do it right now, okay? But now, what do you do? Think. Yes.
To B5.
Pawn to b5 is a possibility, but then he takes, and bishops get open. Do you want it to be open when he has bishops, or you want it closed? Think about it. I mentioned bishops are strong where? When it's open, yeah? So don't make it open, keep it closed. That's what you want to. You want to keep the position closed when opponent has bishops, yes. Absolutely, queen c2. Simply retreating. At this point, I have 2 extra pawns, don't forget. I have 2 extra pawns. I have the advantage here. So I just need to be accurate. He goes here. He sees the problem. I want to go check. So if he had gone here, I would have simply said check. He would have gone here, and I would go knight f5, putting pressure here, here. Big trouble for him. Okay? Now this is weak too. So he played bishop e7, developing his bishop. And this bishop is stopping me from castling. Unfortunately, I cannot castle. But it's okay. I can go for the attack. But in order to do that, I have to play energetically. So what is the move here? Who is going to find the strongest move here? The game ended in just a few more moves. Just a few more moves and the game is over. Yes? Knight f5? You could go knight f5. But I think it's stronger to start out with queen e4. Because when you play queen e4, that's called centralization. Remember that, when you put a queen there, that's centralizing it. And now, I'm threatening this, but additionally, I'm threatening also to take this. So I got a lot more threats going, okay? Additionally. You got it? So we got that. So now he goes castle, because what else he can do? He's getting, king is in the middle of the board. He's in big trouble, so he's got a castle and the move that will basically finish him off here. Strong move that finishes him off here. This is my game from 2010 US Open tournament in California. Yes?
Knight takes c6.
That's good, but when you see good move, what do? What did world champion Emanuel Lasker say? When you see a good move, anybody know this quote? Very famous quote. Find a better one, yes. Look for a better one. Okay? When you see a good move, look for a better one. So knight c6 is a good move. Can you find a better one though? Not always capturing is the best, yeah? Sometimes maybe placing a piece to a more active square will be better. What is the better one?
Knight f5.
Of course. Knight f5, rook e8 only move, because I have 2 pieces attacking on the bishop. 1, 2, and now look at this. This is hanging too. And if he goes here now, I take, and do you see the mate in 2? 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, just focus here. Don't move the chair, yeah? Okay, I don't see. Raise your hands if you have it. Yes, in the back?
Queen g4 check, king, and then queen to g7 check.
Absolutely. 1, 2. See it? So he cannot do that. So he goes rook f8, and what's the winning move here? Don't rush, yeah? You're so close to the victory, but you have to still show precise play, You don't just think, oh, it's over, I can do anything. Because one mistake and he's going to get back into the game. You don't want to allow him to get back into the game. see, queen g4. It's possible queen g4, but g6, let's say.
No, bishop to g7.
Bishop g7 is a winning move too, I believe. Bishop g7 is winning too, but I want to something else that I want to take and attack something. Do you see another capture? Because you take with the bishop because the knight is guarding it, right? So can you do the other way around now? Can you do the other way? Okay, let's see. Yes?
King take e7.
Well, if we take only 7, he just takes back. Then we don't have the attack anymore.
Knight takes g7.
Excellent, because now I'm threatening this piece. Okay? He played bishop c5. Tactical. He's trying to do a tactic on me. And now knight takes rook. And now my opponent finally resigned, because if he takes back with the rook, I just take it. And if he plays bishop before check, this looks like scary a little bit, because my king is now going to be under attack. Looks scary, you know, what to do. Because if you move the king, he starts checking and get into trouble. So what do you do? Yeah, king is under attack. Can move the king, but we don't want to do that. But we don't want to move the king because he's going to check us. And don't forget that his queen is under attack too. His queen is under attack. That's important.
Bishop to f6.
Well, no, he's checking you. You have to do something about the check. Do something about the check. What can you do? Only one move. Get out of the check, or
Use the queen takes the bishop.
exactly, sacrifice the queen to eliminate it. Yes. Brilliant.
Then if the pawn
Takes back. What do you do then?
get the bishop.
Capture the queen, right? That's it. There you go.
Then you could get the knight.
And you still fork him.
You could get
Okay.
the
Okay.
You could get the rook and the bishop and that.
Okay, great. But raise your hand, yeah, if you have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I have a question. What if he doesn't? What if he plays? Can you go back a little before? With the queen d8,
Take the bishop.
and if we take the knight.
Yeah, we have a whole rook, remember? Whole extra rook. But we could also try to mate him. That's also possible. But just in case, we can exchange queens. We have a whole rook. Okay? Okay, great.